Do you even lift?
We shooting?
Yeah, we're going, man. Cheers, dude.
Whoa, cheers. How you doing, man? I'm sorry, like, I got kind of zoned out there for a second, you know. I'm in a weight room on Galveston Island.
Yeah, man.
And these are the types of places that kind of gave me chills as a young, like, athlete in high school. Because, you know, Galveston had a ton of athletes growing up.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, man, we heard rumors about them, like, feeding kids creatine. Like, just buckets of creatine.
Breakfast.
Yeah,
Like a
man,
bowl of
protein
creatine.
shakes. I'm saying, man, you know, back then that was like a kind of a controversial thing in the 90s.
Right.
And I don't know, man, it's like, this is like the foundation, like a high school weight room.
It's good, man. Yeah.
I mean,
well,
these are
talking
foundational things, man.
about creatine and supplements and stuff, you know, like you can take all the supplements in the world, but one question always stands true: do you even lift?
Do you have to lift? Can you even get stronger just taking supplements and steroids and creatine, whatever?
Steroids.
Do you have to lift? I'm going to back it down. All right, now HBO.
That escalated quickly.
Okay, just some over-the-counter supplements, right? Everything legal by NCAA. Wherever's legal by NCAA collegiate
Right.
standards.
Hey,
Olympic
coach,
standards.
my head grew over the summer.
Do you even lift? That's the title. It's like,
Right.
like, how'd your head get so big? Did you lift to get your head bigger, or did you just get bigger? We're here to get your body bigger. That's what we target.
Right.
Make you stronger, a more fit person, and you know, PT, strength conditioning, different types of rehab preparation.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
it's
the main
part of
goal,
it, man.
mhm,
You know,
the main goal is to get strong, right? And what is strength, though? Strength is what? The ability to produce force, right? There's a formula for it, you know, but the ability to produce force against resistance, right? And the main thing you think of with that is lifting weights, right? So lifting weights and being strong, it's important, you know, and a lot of people, they've got this mindset of well, do you want to be a bodybuilder?
exactly. You get stiff, you get slow.
Right. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I want to be strong, right? So strength goes right along hand with ADLs, man. So in the general population, not just the athletes, you know, but just general aesthetics. Yeah, that's important, right? Because we all want to look good, but we want to feel good too. We want to be able to function, right?
Yeah.
So if you sit on the toilet and you can't get up, right, you're lacking strength, right? If it takes you all day to get up, then you're lacking power, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing we don't think about even, is just the very fact that most people think bash strength training, but it's kind of a bias because most people aren't strong enough to move their own body.
Right.
I mean, how many adults in their 30s and 40s can go out and jump or run? I mean, that takes a lot. Especially pushing a lawnmower, that takes a lot too.
Pushing a lawnmower, that's
Yeah,
an ADL,
that's an
man.
ADL. But I'm telling you, like, strength training, I mean, I feel like now I like to see on the social media, they have older adults, men and women, lifting
Right.
weights, deadlifting out, like a 60-year-old guy deadlifting
Right,
over
man.
500 pounds,
Right.
or a 70-year-old, or Mike Tyson's in his 50s looking like he can hurt somebody on the level. So, the human body, men, women, whatever age you're in, has to be prepared for its challenges. You can't
Yeah.
just say because of like a rusty weight room, you might get, you know, a rusty bar on you, you might get kind of like, I don't know, maybe an allergic reaction or something.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, the consequences of not strength training are detrimental. I mean, just even at home, if you're lifting a can of soup, you know, a big cup of coffee.
That's
like this,
resistance.
it's resistance. It's all, even though it's not a barbell, it's still resistant to something.
Right.
Even though it doesn't give you like little rust marks, it's still a challenge to your body. And you go to any nursing home, or you can see a sickly person at any age, you can see the detriments of not moving in general.
Right,
But when we say, do you even lift? Not just a barbell, but it's your body weight.
right.
So trying to get out of the toilet, I mean, that's like a max squat for some people. And
Exactly.
you need to train that. You got it.
No doubt. But with that, you know, lifting that can of soup, for instance, putting that can of soup in the shelf overhead, that takes mobility, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have this mindset of when you lift, you're going to get too stiff. You're not going to be able to move in full range of motion, right? You're going to lose mobility. But actually, when you lift through full range of motion, you're going to increase that mobility because you're training that mobility.
Well, it's a combination of things. You have what some people call mobility or flexibility. You can't keep it unless you're strong. I mean, pick your arm
Right.
overhead. To the average person out there watching this, you might think that's flexibility. That's actually strength. If you think your
Right.
arm against gravity, I mean, go to a space station, go underwater, change the physical environment,
Right.
and that is relative strength. And so it's a combination of things. So we say strength training is truly flexibility training under a specified level, like a squat.
Right.
You do a deep squat, you're working on full flexibility and strength of all those tissues, the joints, the muscles, the tendons, and then it makes your body more primed to do that movement. So when you go down to change a flat tire on a dark road, your knees don't hurt or your back doesn't hurt. Or you feel uncomfortable, you can't do the job you need to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes we talk about lifting, we joke about do you even lift, but it's like, do you even lift? I
Right.
mean, what do you do besides sitting all day and walking?
Right.
Most adults in America, or even kids that don't have PE or sports, a lot of people don't lift. They don't lift their own body. Pick it up like this. They're doing all sorts of things that to train their body. Like you said, it becomes a flexibility issue. Then they come to physical therapy, an athletic trainer, strength conditioning coach, chiropractor, even a physician, a surgeon saying their knee hurts when they don't even move their knee at all.
Right.
They haven't squatted like in years. But they're about to get a knee replacement
Yeah.
or something. Because that doctor sees arthritis, which most people have. And that doctor will cut on you because you have great insurance and you're healthy. And because you don't move, you won't notice a difference. But when you start to try to move and try to run after a knee replacement or a meniscectomy where they pull your actual cartilage out, you're not able to run anymore, move anymore. And it's often too late.
Yeah.
So it's always better to do it as soon as we can, at whatever age we're at, But I don't know, but it's more than that. We're in a weight room, talking about high school, it's performance, you're a performance guy. We were talking earlier about different ways we can train the body. Let's talk about the weights. So we're in the weight room, so we're talking about the weights. So we're talking about different energy systems. And as a PT, I got some in undergrad, had 2 courses in graduate school, but I don't do that every day, and I need a refresher. But honestly, we're just going over these different pathways, and then we're talking about how there's an anabolic pathway, right?
Right.
When you train, you would go over that as far as
Yeah, man. So,
chemistry?
well, let's talk about the energy systems
Yeah,
first.
that's right.
There's 3 major energy systems, right? So a lot of people, they get in there and they train, they do random volumes here and there, and they've got no concept of the energy systems.
It's true,
right?
It's true.
But there's one thing, if you don't take away anything, one thing that I think most people need to know, and it's like basic AMP, right, is ATP, right?
That's right.
Adenosine triphosphate.
Right.
That's energy.
On the cellular level.
On the
that's just
cellular level, right? So, one energy system doesn't work by itself, right? They all work in conjunction,
True. Yep.
right? And I don't want to get too crazy, we'll pull down a slide here and, laser pointer
We'll
and
animate
stuff,
it in later.
right? But, so you got your phosphagen energy system, right? That's where ATP is the primary source, right? And that's very quick.
Yes.
Within what, 10 seconds?
That's where the creatine supplements try to make
Right.
that faster.
Right.
Power.
So that's where your power comes from, right? So with that, you've got your glycolytic energy system. It's a little longer, anything after that, but these 2 are still anaerobic in nature, meaning without oxygen, right?
Sure.
So then, after that, around the 3-minute mark of activity, right? That's when you're going to dip into the oxidative pathway.
That's right.
And that's where these aerobics come into play, right? So going back to volumes, if you're doing 3 sets of 10 and it's taking you 30, 45 seconds, maybe a minute, you're working in the glycolytic energy system, right?
And you did a good job of breaking down the energy systems.
Yeah.
Power with creatine phosphate, the glycolytic pathways, but the intermediate. Then advanced, it's going to be above 3 minutes when we go to aerobic metabolism, where we're actually huffing and puffing and combusting,
Right.
and taking energy in. But we're working all these pathways at one time, because some people think they're doing aerobics and they're just training to burn fat.
Right.
And that's not the purpose. You're shifting in between different things. And so that goes back to diet, and this is a whole, people have degrees in this like you. So it's hard to break this down. in a few
Nutrition
minutes.
is a science in itself,
Yeah,
right?
there are registered dietitians that can break this down
Right,
more specifically,
yeah.
but
We don't even want to get into that.
Yeah, it's just we just definitely want to hit these different systems,
We want to hit the
without
surface,
training.
you know.
Well, no matter which you are. So whether you're somebody who's very sickly at home who can't go to the bathroom by yourself, them walking to the bathroom could be a power move, or it can be an aerobic move. It could take them 5 minutes to get there.
Right.
They're huffing and puffing, and there's changes in their blood pressure and heart rate.
Yeah.
You can see them sweating or even like changing
Right,
color
yeah.
because of that. But then somebody else, it
They
could be a
can do
power
it easily,
sprint,
right, yeah.
but it's still a
10
challenge.
seconds.
Yeah, it can be a challenge. But then athletes, the same thing. We have 400-meter runners.
Right.
With some, it's a very glycolytic thing. They're huffing and puffing.
Right.
But it's not really aerobic metabolism. But to me, I haven't ran a 400-meter in years. Like, I'm aerobic metabolism.
Right.
Not only because it would take me probably 2 minutes or a minute and a half to do it, but probably because my body is not very efficient. So it's just taking different energy systems. But I guess when you train as an athlete, and when you're late, if you're training consistently
Right.
for several years to your late teens and 20s, like these systems take years to train, right? Not just overnight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't come in and train one day for 10 seconds and
Right.
think that your phosphagen energy system is going to be in tune,
Yeah.
right? So,
It's an investment. I mean, it's-
well, let's talk about like specificity though,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So
The SAID principle.
The SAID principle, right? So specific adaptations to impose demands.
Right.
Basically, whatever you're training, that's what's going to get the adaptation, right?
Right.
The response, right? And that's what training is. It's all about a stimulus and a response, right? So if you want that specific energy system trained, you need to train it.
Yep.
If you want to get stronger, you're not going to do long, slow distance stuff.
Right.
Because that long, slow distance stuff is going to inhibit your strength gains, right?
Yeah, to be optimal. Like,
Right. And most likely, if you're training long, slow distance stuff and you're trying to get stronger, right? Your type 2 fibers, the powerful ones, right? Those are the ones that are going to atrophy, right?
Yep.
Because they're like, okay, and so then your type 1 fibers are going to work more in your long, slow distance stuff, right?
Yep.
So here's the funny thing about that, though, is that endurance training, you're not really going to get stronger. Yeah, your endurance is going to get good, right? So people say they get stronger, right? But when you strength train, endurance can increase a little
Now,
bit.
how is that possible?
Right?
Yeah, how's that possible?
So it's pretty fascinating stuff.
But you were saying that there's actually an explanation why strength improves endurance, but not vice versa.
That's a good point, man. Yeah. Let me grab my notes real quick. I got a lot of thoughts on my head,
Yeah.
so I was writing some stuff down before. I don't want to mess this up, right?
No, a lot of words,
So
man.